Wonderful to meet you, brother. Okay, here's what the scoop is. That was a lot of stuff that I told you, but here's the end result. All the things you learn on this ukulele are all going to be versatile. You're going to be able to move this over to any instrument. You're going to be able to see math in theory as melodic changes and tone movements, whether you're playing a harp, a guitar, a trumpet, doesn't matter. What happens is you learn patterns over and over, and those patterns become easier to observe and to replicate as time goes on, which is the reason why lesson 1 is going to be a simple exercise of modal movements in diatonic fashion, which means you're not going all over the fretboard, you're just going half steps, diatones, all the way up. So what we want to do, make sure, is we're in tune with a high G, low C, Once we got that, we're going to be using our first finger, as you saw. I'm going to turn this just a teeny bit. First finger, first finger, first fret, first fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're not going to lift our fingers off. We're going to keep them on the fretboard. So pointy note, not a flat note. Pointy, 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 keeping them on. And then you do this switch. You ready? Bum, 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 bum. See how my finger just moved? These three are still on. And then I pull it off in order. Same thing, keeping them on. Do, 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 do. Once I get up to the top, you could either go directly down or pop. Just tell me when we're doing this so we can do it together. I'll learn how your patterns are. Here's one time through. After my first time through, up and down, I'm going to switch to my second finger. I'm going to go all the way through my first finger and my second finger, and then not do my third or my fourth finger. Pinky's not that big of important. You probably will never do that, but it will strengthen the muscle memory right here along your tendons and your ligaments. So when we start doing finger pattern, see how I'm able to do plucks and picks there? It will be versatile as well. Here's lesson 1. 1, 2 with the first fret, first finger. Remember to breathe. Remember, this is all with my first finger on my right hand. And as soon as I'm about ready to get done, I'm going to switch to my second finger. Ready? Here it is. Yeah. Another thing I forgot to mention in practice is you want to kind of stay centered over the string you're plucking down here on your right hand and act like you have an imaginary golf ball in between your hand. Just big enough to fit underneath your hand in between that and the sound hole. And then of course, third finger all the way up. Keep doing those and get those guys really fast. And then your pinky. Woo! That's so hard. See? I don't practice it enough. I don't really use that one a lot anyway. So, do those every day, 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night. You inevitably will get faster. You're going to build muscle memory, and the attention to detail will be there. You will remember how far to keep your hand away from your body, the sound, the body of your instrument, where to keep your hands near the fretboard to be in the quickest positioning, how far away your fingers need to be in order to make the next note come. Make sure that your fingers press down hard enough to get the tone out and that you're not playing over the metal fretting. You never want to play on the shore, you want to play in the water. So let's go swimming. Don't stand on the shore on the nut, jump into the water on the fret. Other stuff like that. Remember when you're tuning to tune up to the note, that'll help your tones keep in tense nylon, and it'll keep the strings nice so you're not going to pop them or go out of tune. That's a great instrument you got. It will stay in tune. Treat it right. So our first chord is going to be the C major, and we're going to be playing that with each finger. So let's do a straight down. So our second lesson, first lesson is our spider exercise. Our second lesson is going to be playing the C major, which is also the first chord from our song, and playing it with different fingerings. So C, what we're doing, as we discussed in practice here, you're playing the C major, and it has the C note, a lower C, which is open, an open E, and an open G. So that's your 1, 3, 5, and when you've got 3 notes, C, E, G, because you get rid of the D and the F, C, D, E, F, G, you've got your triad. It's a major triad. If you flatten that third scale degree, it becomes a minor triad. Here's our major. Excuse me. I got my C and my G. We know that we're using our first finger and then the first node to cover both of those strings, the C and the G, and then we're taking this third finger to play an E note, our tone E, and then this finger to play our tone C. This C and this C are the same. Those are unison. Which means when you go down and you end on the second fret, this A is the same as your A open, A, B flat, B, C. So when you have your bookend C's here and you put your G, you've got your 1, 5, and then E is your 3. 1, 3, 5. So this chord and this chord, exactly the same notes. Different inflection, if you will. Different vibration. This G is vibrating at a G, but it vibrates just a little differently than the open G. So this C, B, B flat, A. The idea that you're playing C with all these different fingers is the exact same idea that if you were to play this C, that you would move the first finger off and you put your second finger where your first finger was, and then make that remaining chord with the rest of your fingers. That's what lesson 2 will always be for us. So the G major that you made, we'll have your G. Let's build it. We've got our first finger, second fret on the D note. We're gonna make a bookend with our second finger on the B, so a D note, because we have C, C sharp, D. So if we play D right here, and we put our bookend up here with a B, we would put our pinky down on the G to have a D, B, and a G. And if we build those from just a vocab, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and start on D, we'd have D, skip E, go to F, skip G, and go to A. It just so happens in the key of D, we have 2 sharps. In the key of G, you know that we've got 1 sharp. That sharp is F sharp. In the key of G, remember we had Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, F sharp, G. Because if we had Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, it would be a whole step away, not a half step. Meaning G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G is different than G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G by a half step. In the key of D, same thing. You have an F sharp and a C sharp, which means you have D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. Because if I played C, like here, and not a C sharp, it wouldn't make sense to have D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ta, not T. Understood? So in the key of D major, we would have a different feeling. So just go through your G major, take your first finger off, put your second finger where your first finger was, take your second finger off, put your third finger where your second was, and then bring on your pinky for the G major. You're going to be able to play all these chords 2 different ways. In the case of C major over here, you can play it 4 different ways, but I would primarily play with your third finger. And then the C major bar, you could change like that. The other chord we learned was an A minor. So you can do an A minor with all these, but it's preferred if you play with your second finger. And then as we did, we laid down our first finger here for the F with the A to make a B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Get rid of these 2 and you've got F, A, and C. This is an F, this is an A, and this is a C, making a F major. So play that with this. Take off your first finger, put your second finger where first was, and put third on there. You got the same chord, just different fingering. Long story short, we're going to go over come on in. We're going to go over all of these different chords and all these different fingerings and work on them in the future. It was very nice meeting you. I'll see you next week. Aloha.